Welcome, one and all, to another great live stream here at the Court Martial Podcast. I am your Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty, receiving texts, getting blown up, getting ready to go, getting ready to watch an incredible matchup between two underrated talent in an underrated promotion in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Before we get into this, I wanted to just say from the bottom of my heart, I wanted to do this live stream tonight specifically because your whole feed, I'm putting the gimmick on here, your whole feed tonight is going to be on one thing and one thing only, and we all know what it's going to be. It's going to be about, or at least if you're in the United States, but I'm pretty sure the world is watching, you're going to be looking at election stuff, and that's going to be dominating your news cycle and every media that you put in, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I wanted to do this live stream tonight, and specifically tonight, to give you the avenue away from that and to put your mind at ease, at least just in temporary, because we have a 35-minute match here between Tracy Smothers and the Dirty White Boy. And, I'm going to get to you, Sky. I'm not finished with my intro. I'm talking about why I did this live stream. And so that's it. I wanted you to get the escape. From what I'm sure is going to be dominating your news cycle. What we're going to be watching, the reason we're watching it, there's two reasons. The first is that a certain man who is attempting to earn a co-hostship on this here channel, Skylar Greenberg. This man first purported to us that Hell in a Cell was a certain date. Then it was not on that date, and we had to reschedule our review. Then, just recently, I find out that date for Full Gear was also botched. The second time that this has happened in as many pay-per-views. And now I am aghast, appalled, and downright infuriated that I would be lied to by a man I thought I could trust. And so as a result, I have decided to punish him severely by doing a solo show this week. And we're going to do, actually, it's going to be an interesting one. We're going to talk a little bit about, you know what? I don't even want to tease it. You're just going to have to watch. It's going to be on Friday, and you will see it all. It's going to be a very fun time. And so now we are going to, the second reason, that's reason number one that we're doing this. Reason number two that we're doing this. Tracy Smothers just passed away after a long battle with cancer. He was in his, I believe, 60s. He was not that old. Tracy had wrestled in pretty much everywhere, but it was another one of those guys that was never really taken as seriously as he should have been, with the exceptions of a few different places. But I just recently saw a match of Tracy Smothers and Sue Young, and it is not pretty. For anyone who loves wrestling, it is not pretty. But Tracy himself was also not pretty, but he had a hell of a promo. He definitely fit what wrestling was, especially in the late 80s and mid-90s, or early 90s, that wasn't WWF. I'm looking at the screen here as why I'm diverting my eyes so much. Tracy is another guy who, like so many others who went this year, it's all these guys that you didn't really know, and then you go back and watch them and you're like, well, God, you see the appeal of this guy, or you see what what made them so remarkable or so beloved by certain circles. And I think we're going to see that with Tracy Smothers today. I mean, I've seen what little Smoky Mountain they have on the WWE Network, which they do have a little. They have a little, not a ton, but you can see some of these. You can see some of the promos between Tracy Smothers and the Dirty White Boy and Cornette and the Heavenly Bodies and yada yada yada. And this here is a biker chain match, or I guess just a regular chain match between Tracy Smothers and the man known as the Dirty White Boy, who would become TL Hopper. But believe you me, this man is a little bit better than having a plumber gimmick, because everybody needed to have a job in 1990s WWE, and completely buried this man's career. So I think you're going to be surprised at both of these guys. This is going to be a fight. This is going to be an actual brawl. And we are going to and so I guess to wrap all of this up, because I'm doing the solo show this week, next week is our Full Gear review with Skylar back on commentary. We're going to talk about a lot of things, what we liked, which will be very short, what we hated, which will be probably quite a large extent, just based on my AEW watchings of recent. And yes, I do, Sky. I do have I'm trying to find some more wrestling related beer. Because that is always what I like to drink for wrestling pay-per-views. The only difference is I will not be live streaming Full Gear, because I don't really feel like dropping money on AEW, to tell you the truth. I really don't. And because I'm going to watch it elsewise, legally, of course. And I don't know. Full Gear is going to be something. The card looks promising, but I know what to expect from this company enough to not get excited. That would be the long and short of it. But let's get into wrestling from another time. I really hate the fact that we have to do another tribute to another guy because we lost so many this year. We lost so many wrestlers this year. It's like hard to count. This one was it was a heavy wrestler lost year, but Tracy had been battling cancer for a long time, so this one wasn't as much of a surprise as ones like Road Warrior Animal. And even Kamala had some health issues. I think he lost both of his feet. Maybe just one. Maybe two. And I can't remember. But in any event, this is to honor the late, great Tracy Smothers, to get a little insight as to what this man brought to the table. And in Smoky Mountain, anyone who knows me knows how much I enjoy listening to Jim Cornette. I have only seen a handful of Smoky Mountain wrestling matches, so this is another interesting one. We'll see how it goes. 35 minutes. The name of the video is Tracy Smothers versus Dirty White Boy, and then in parentheses, chain match. Oh, you know what I should have done? I totally forgot, and I'm going to do it right now. I am going to find over here the YouTube video, and I'm going to link it. And I completely forgot to link it, and we are going to link it now. And I don't want to hear that. We're not there yet. Stop. Thank you very much. I should have had this ready, but that's okay. Oh, boom. All right, so there is the YouTube video for you to imbibe. But for those of you who want to just look it up, it is Tracy Smothers versus Dirty White Boy, parentheses chain match. The channel is BTEEP60. B as in like the bees that buzz around. Teep, TEEP 60. Not many subscribers on this guy. Not going to be giving him one because this is not his material. I'm not really actually sure who owns this. I think it's Cornette. I think Cornette owns what rights there are to whatever part of Smoky Mountain he had control of. But we're starting this at 0-0-0. We're going to get this right along going. It's a long match, so saddle up, folks. It's going to be a good one. I'm ready. If you're ready, we're going to start this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, somebody's coming out to Charlie Daniels. I think it's Charlie Daniels. Here comes Tracy Smothers. Tracy Smothers, of course, was Southern boy Tracy Smothers. Definitely fit the area that he was working in. This is definitely goes to show the times have changed as far as well. I mean, well, then again, you know, they got Tracy Smothers carrying that Confederate flag. I mean, Michael Hayes wore basically a Confederate flag in his robe. At least that was WCW Michael Hayes. I don't know if he did that all the time when he was back when he was doing the Freebirds in the first run of the Freebirds. It's interesting that they're doing the. It's interesting that they're doing the in-ring intros now, but before the next guy comes in. I kind of like that, where he gets in the ring, he comes around, and then they do the intro for one guy, and then the next guy comes in, and then they do the intro for him. I really like that. And yes, Tracy is the babyface here. Dirty White Boy, bit of a scumbag. At least that was the persona. I think, did Dirty White Boy come up to a Foreigner song? Yep, fans booing. Nobody likes the Dirty White Boy. Dirty White Boys are dirty. You know, he did have the look of a guy who would come in and plunge your toilet. Ron Wright. Not really familiar with him. Not really. Yeah, I don't know that much about Ron Wright. You know, I'm not sure I really like the name Dirty White Boy. If he used the name Dirty White Boy as like the quote unquote, as if the Southern boy Tracy Smothers, and then the Dirty White Boy, this guy, I don't know his real name.
Without your opponent scoring an offensive blow. If he does strike that blow and score, the count is stopped. He goes back to 0, and it starts all over again. There is no stopping of the match. The belt and title will be on the line.
This is for, I think this is for the Smoky Mountain Heavyweight Championship.
Tennessee chain match.
Tennessee chain match.
You heard Lance explain the rules. The winner has to successfully drag his opponent around the inside circumference of the ring, touching each ring post. If that opponent lands an offensive blow, the count goes back to 0, and they go once again.
Well, this is it's going to be a long match, but I think it's still going to feel like a fight. I think it's still going to feel at least relatively authentic in the way that it's, and referee Mark Curtis, his real name is Brian Hildebrand, and he was the one who was, I think, halvesies in on this with the good old JC.
Experience left back there with Ron Wright and that Tennessee chain match. This is one that would be frustrating, I would think, particularly if you were injured.
They had and then we missed a little bit of I missed a little bit of something here. The man who announced the rules, Lance Russell. Lance Russell, for those of you who don't know, was the commentator, the main commentator, the sole commentator in Memphis for the longest time during a lot of the runs that Memphis made. And by this point, Lance was pretty late in his career, but Jim asked him to hop on for the occasional thing here, and he did. And I think Lance ended up battling throat cancer, and I think he had another cancer. He died, I don't know, I want to say like 4 years ago or something. nothing like that. But he really was a good fit for Memphis too. And for those of you who haven't seen the concession stand brawl, we're gonna have to find that footage, and we will have to do that for a match of the week because that is worth watching. If you want to see Honky Tonk Man actually work with Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee, and I forget who the fourth guy was. It's worth watching, though. We're going to find the footage. We're going to make that happen. Immediately testing each other, testing the strength.
Now they're going to toss it. They're going to walk it. They're going to pull for advantage and leverage. And Smothers will have to be an aggressor as well. And try to
now, look how smart that is by Tony Anthony using that chain to whip and kind of call them back and then to tug for the clothesline. Smart. And not bragging about it.
Which added even more impetus to that clothesline that he nailed him with. Dirty White Boy drilling him with a big right hand. Tracy has a height advantage, but actually
Tracy, nice going underneath. Now, that was cool. Using the chain, doing the chain flip. That's pretty standard. Smothers throwing some nice right hands. Oh, that was something. That was like a mix of a drop kick and Jericho's standing kick that he did back in like 99. That was odd. Athletic, but odd. Oh, on the announce table, timekeeper's table. Like how just waving the flag is getting the parts. It's getting the pops. And now I like this. Dirty White Boy backing up. Somebody threw trash in the ring. Mark Curtis very quick to get rid of it. Now Tracy Smothers has got the advantage here. And you know what I love about old school wrestling like this? And I know 93 old school, but you know what I love about wrestling like this is that you could tell just from the body language, just from the standing, how somebody is positioned, how they're standing, how they're walking. You tell immediately whether they're a babyface or a heel. And a lot of that subtlety is so lost on today's generation.
Going in circles, he can't bring it back together, and Smothers is in the driver's seat. And
Tracy's got to be like 6'7" here. He's a pretty sizable dude. White Boy a little stockier, but still looks like something of an athlete. He looks like a dirty white man. I'll give him that. Hence that TL Hopper gimmick really did look like a plumber.
And nobody can tell him he's not the best wrestler in the world. Because I'll tell you, this guy just loves.
Now, what is Tracy doing here? Got him by the neck.
Right now is a dirty white boy. You know, when this guy says hello to you, he exudes intensity, and he is a great competitor. He's got a one.
Oh, that's right. So this is kind of like
dragging him toward the corner. Tracy comes over, makes the turn.
This reminds me. You know what this makes me miss? This reminds me of that bull rope match that Eddie and JBL had, where and with that really creative finish where JBL's back hit the turnbuckle before Eddie could jump over and hit it. I thought that was a lame way for him to lose the title, but I thought JBL is underrated, honestly, as a his title run was not spectacular, but I think that JBL did his best. I really do like JBL. Maybe not the person so much, but I like the work of JBL. Now again, those punches, even though it's the 10 punches from the top, and then I see, it's like a jumping kick, but he's using the back. See how he's using the momentum from kicking his leg behind him. God, that's athletic for a guy his size.
You know, not that I'm bleeding or feeling that sorry for the dirty white boy, but I got to tell you, he does have the extra burden on his shoulder. He has the belt that is at stake, but in addition to that, he's got one in a row if he doesn't get any more. But in addition to the belt being on the line, imagine the
and now look at Ron Wright grabbing the leg. Grabbing the leg. Look at this. And now Tracy Smothers has seen it.
And he has got to defend that honor of not only himself, but Ron Wright also.
Now Ron Wright, and look at Ron Wright just deliberately grabbing the leg, and now, oh, that was nice. Good heel stuff, though. That was good heel stuff from Ron Wright. But that was enough time to give the advantage back to Dirty White Boy. That might have been just enough to get that heat spot.
Dirty White Boy now. Tough son of a gun. Bobber's back, takes a couple of shots from Tracy, and staggers around the ring.
Oh, nice trip bump by Tracy. So we haven't seen the real heat spot yet.
White Boy in trouble. Smothers right out behind him. Hooks that chain around to cut the windpipe off. Taking away his air supply. The White Boy trying to pull himself back in that ring just to get away from Tracy Smothers. But Smothers, tenacious like a bulldog, hangs on. Diving head first into that top turnbuckle.
So far, this has been a pretty sizable brawl back and forth.
Down goes the Dirty White Boy. Tracy asking for the public address system microphone. Go back up north, you stupid Yankees.
Go back up north, you goofy Yankee. Oh, I'll take exception to that. Oh, well, I'm offended. And apparently, I'm not actually.
And it really falls in the attitude the Dirty White Boy.
It's a good heel tactic. Excuse me. It's a good heel tactic to bill somebody from New York when your shows are in Tennessee.
Tracy having things his own way and loving every minute of it.
Oh, and a leg drop.
Ron Wright drew up on that one when he saw Tracy's leg come down. Hey, I saw the videotape of that match where White got out of that chair, nailed Tracy Smothers, and then said, oh, I blacked out. It was the Holy Spirit or something like that must have done it. Yeah, this is the Ron Wright MO and has always been. I've never believed he belonged in that chair for any reason other than it was a good way.
Now another attempt here. This whole bit has been all Tracy Smothers, and we know that we're going to get more out of that.
He's got the idea.
You know, as fun as this match has been, I would like to see Tracy Smothers in just like a regular one-on-one contest. This is like if you saw that match between Raven and Vampiro, and that was the first time you saw those two. You'd be like, yeah, I mean, this was something, but I'd like to see what these two really were made of. It's just it hasn't really gotten started yet. I mean, I feel like this has been all Tracy Smothers, but we're like a third of the way. We're almost halfway into this match, but it's been all Tracy Smothers. So I'm waiting on. They had weeks and weeks of promos. They're seeing it in the commentary.
Dirty White Boy trying to dig his way out here, and Tracy Smothers doing a good job of keeping it in. Starting over, he's got a one. And now Tracy trying to work him back over to that post on the other side.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Sky, because the milking of that leg drop happened a little while ago on my feed, but the thing about the leg drop, and that kind of milking I like, because that's teasing something for the audience as opposed to just walking around and standing and looking and walking around a little more. It's, you know, there's a little bit, there's more of the crowd interaction, and I know it's hard with no fans now, but like WWE used to do that before too, where it wasn't even teasing the audience for a reaction, it was just them lagging, just doing things but doing them super slow, as opposed to milking something to get a reaction and to play a moment more. It's all about the intent of what you do. And how, oh, there's the heat spot. There's the heat spot. Now let's get this going. So Tracy went up to the top rope, which was a mistake. Dirty White Boy pulled the chain, boom, the split, and the Tracy Smothers, the Southern boys, just got country fried there.
Now, the White Boy's got a problem because he's got 40 pounds out there. He's got to pull back into that ring if he's going to make it count. But instead, he takes the easy way and goes to the outside. He'll try to punish Tracy out there.
Now throwing some punches. Those punches don't even look that terrible. Okay, those punches don't look spectacular, but Tracy's punches look better than Dirty White Boy's punches.
From the Dirty White Boy, and down he goes. What a crowd in Pikeville, Kentucky. A turnout for the Bluegrass.
Pikeville, Kentucky. This is where we are. We're having a Tennessee chain match in Pikeville, Kentucky.
We can't see what's going on, but obviously both wrestlers are down the ball. Oh, all right. Tracy has been cut. He has been opened up. And right now,
we saw Dirty White Boy use the chain to get that juice. This is the kind of juice that we needed at Hell in a Cell.
Sees that red color, and that's like waving a red flag at a bull. I think it was that last shot that he put Tracy down with. It looked like he had that chain wrapped around his fist, and he really crossed Tracy's life. I mean, he busted him, and looking at the expression, I couldn't see it from the other side, but catching Tracy's expression, he absolutely had a totally stunned look on his face with that right hand.
Yeah, and you know, I love Tracy selling here because it looks like he's really, really hurt, and getting cut really took a lot out of him. You know, and that's amazing how just with all of the punishment that Dirty White Boy just took, Tracy Smothers selling immediately transitioned this to really wanting to see him move. The juice, the selling, right now this has been like average from Dirty White Boy. I haven't been loving this. He hasn't been really. I don't think he's been overselling the way that heels sometimes should for baby faces.
Dirty White Boy, he's closing the vice on that chain. And look at Tracy's face. And Ron Wright cheering him on.
But Tracy, I could see why people like Tracy now. That quickly, Tracy immediately turned it right on. Turned on the sympathy. I love it. Just like that, he turned on with just a little bit of selling and some color, and the entire complexion of this match has changed.
With that clothesline, Tracy in trouble now. He's got to do something here, anything, even in desperation. And, you know, I found over the years, Lance, in a situation like this, sometimes instinct alone is more dangerous coming from opponents than when they are conscious and realize what they're doing. It's just that instinct.
Now going more into like trying to punch with the chain, some more gut punch. Don't see enough gut punches nowadays. Something Jeff Jarrett did really well.
Absolutely. So in this posture, you keep pounding, you keep taking your man down.
No. Oh, well, AEW doesn't throw punches. They throw forearms and do spots and do gymnastics moves. Oh, and Cody and MJF wrestle sometimes. Oh, okay. Odd. Weird lag there. Got like 3 seconds time back.
He's got two. He can keep Tracy off balance. He may have a chance. Here he goes for that fourth.
He's trying, always right there. So now Tracy, this is going to be the flurry to make sure he doesn't win, but then I have to imagine that Dirty White Boy is going to take advantage. Yeah.
He was no more than 8 inches away from losing this challenge for the heavyweight title, but he did it. 8 inches.
This is it's weird to think that this is also the heavyweight championship match. Very weird to think that the Dirty White Boy came into this as the SMW heavyweight champion. Oh, what's he going to do? A chain assist elbow? I like it. I like it. I dig it.
And now He's talking to his counselor, Ron Wright. I think they're starting to get a little cocky here, Lance. I think they're starting maybe to count those chickens before their hat. Well, in all honesty, Lance, I think that's what happened last time. He was so cocky, he took too much time and first getting started.
These two, oh God, look at the crimson mask on Tracy Smothers. And look how good he is at selling. I love this. Oh, I really see now why Tracy Smothers is really doing it. It's kind of a shame that this took so long to get going, because now I like it. Now I'm getting into this, but it's like it took so long to start. You know, I think that the you know, you got to remember that these two had faced each other several times before this moment in regular matches, and so this was, I think this was, I don't want to say a feud ender, but this was like getting close to being one of the final matches they would have for a little while here at the Bluegrass Brawl, if I do recall. But I could be wrong about that. But they had several singles matches up to this point. So, and that's something that often I think when we do these matches of the week ends up being disconnected, because we're just looking at, you know, we're looking at a little point in a very long timeline. So like there's a lot of stuff prerequisite and post that we would that help with the context of this, but we kind of take those out of the context and we're looking at just like one color on the spectrum. But oh, nice, there's the kick. That was nice. And then not the greatest flip, but it was it would suffice. It sufficed. But it wasn't the prettiest bump by DWB. Tracy going for those errant swings. Can't see because of his own blood. I like that.
With all that blood running down his face. Boy, Tracy is really cut back.
Shot into the gut. And I like that they are taking this. You know, if you would cut that babyface Shining in half and kept all of this heat, I'd probably have liked it just a little bit more. You know, maybe only have him go for it once or twice rather than going for it, I think, 4 times. Did Tracy Smothers there in the opening. But Tracy, we're going to see the comeback here pretty soon, I have to imagine. But we still got some time here.
But the fans haven't given up on Tracy Smothers yet. Okay, they're right in behind him. And they've got good reason.
Oh, slap to the face. That's the most heelish thing I've seen Dirty White Boy do yet.
Here we're going to try a little humiliation now. We're going to try a little humiliation. He's talking to him. He's slapping him with the open hand. And any wrestler will tell you,
God, that punch.
And just slapped and humiliated. Well, then, Dirty White Boy got his rather because Tracy just nailed him with a closed fist. Stuck a foot in his midsection and comes back with that forearm and ripped him hard along the jawbone. Tracy Smothers is back.
Tracy going back up to the top. But is this going to just be the flurry? Or there? Yeah, it's going to be a flurry. Oh, inverted atomic drop. That was a good counter. That was a good concept for a counter. If you're somebody who loves the specifics of something looking really clean, this match will not be for you. But that had just enough grit to still look pretty good. So.
There's the one. He's got the one. He's got the one. He's walking up 2 of them. The length of the chain now. He doesn't have to drag him. You know, Tracy realized that he hadn't shortened that chain up, and he's had it. And he's just opened it up now.
Tracy trying to make this comeback here. Went for it, looked like a stinger splash, but missed it. Kind of seems like Dirty White Boy is a little bit blown up here. Maybe I'm wrong, but oh, now the choke. Somewhere Daniel Bryan's attorney is cringing. The thought of a choke that made someone turn purple.
235 or 250 around the ring to be able to make that tag. Absolutely. And right now, the Dirty White Boy choking his man down, working on that head. And of course, the more blood Smothers loses, the weaker he becomes.
I don't know why Mark Curtis is like
The referee,
checking him to make sure he's still conscious. All he has to do is walk around.
yes.
Yeah, what would Mark have done? I don't think he could have done anything. And then Mark Curtis with the crab pose. I like the crab pose that he was just sitting on there.
As you mentioned earlier in the night, it is gut check time, and Tracy gets 4 stars for that. Amen. You better believe it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they did the whole pass out thing. I feel like that was not necessary given the gimmick of the stipulation.
Because he has no experience in this kind of a match. Uh-oh, White Boy started off now. He's on 1. Number 2, he just took it. Yeah. It's easy. Keep going. So far. He got halfway. He's got 3. Tracy needs to get him right here and there. He's 3. Okay.
Notice that these men have seldom left the ring.
He has got him. He has stopped him over and over. And if nothing else, psychologically, in the back of his mind, the White Boy has got to know that on how many occasions, 10, 11 times, Smothers has cut him off 1 short of a win. Bridge, he came up with a reverse stick, caught him right in the groin, put Tracy down. But I think that's a very
good heel move.
point you make.
There's no disqualification, so that's all allowed.
The White Boy has done everything in the world to him. He's saying, what I got to do, get it done.
What do I have to do?
Because he has him bloody.
The single greatest commentary cliche line in all of pro wrestling. What do I have to do?
I almost think at this point you've either got to render him unconscious or you're going to have to stay there with him until he passes out. The White Boy trying to choke it down now. With a handful of hair pulled into his feet. Let's see where he's going from here. He's going to take him over the top. And hang him with
now they're doing the hangman bit. And God, the selling of Tracy Smothers.
Because this is one of those matches you can't stop. But that is awful.
See, this is one of those matches you can't stop. But they still did the hand raise to see whether he passed off. And Tracy Smothers skinned a cat. The man is 6'7". The athleticism of this man, the selling of this man. I could see why people like Tracy Smothers. Shame there wasn't more definitive pro wrestling in the 90s that could have gotten him some sort of lucrative job somewhere. Because he's looking good, man. He is looking good.
Accumulated it for one big shot, and he nails him into one corner. Cross ring. Let's see where it's
flying back elbow. Unreal.
And here they come out of the ring. Tracy out behind him. Let's see what he's going to do with him here.
Now, there goes the double axe handle with the chain. Wonder if this is when DWB is going to get his juice.
And now Tracy.
Oh, chair. Oh, that was like a school chair.
He has opened up the dirty White Boy. He has split him open.
So he is busted open. There's the juice.
Tony Anthony is
using a chair. Actually, they mentioned Tony Anthony, but the dude was using like a plastic school chair, and using that. Ow! What? Ow! That feels like it would hurt.
Let's see where he's gonna go.
Oh, and now another leg. Where's Tracy going? Another double axe handle? And the crowd's kind of getting into it. But I feel like they're feeling what I'm feeling, is that this was just, not that it was too long, but it's that these two didn't know how to pace this right for the amount of time that they were given.
Tracy gets the one.
Because it was just like, it was a lot of shining and a lot of like waiting around and a lot of like the same kind of stuff, mulling over the same kind of stuff.
But those last two have proven to be, particularly the last one, is proven to be the bugaboo, the nemesis.
The bugaboo. It's proven to be the bugaboo.
Haven't been able to get 4. At one point, Dirty White Boy was within 8 inches of having the tag on the 4th one, and he got stopped short and had to start all over. Tracy has been stopped short. Look at this. Here's Tracy with him on his shoulders in the air.
Tracy carrying him up.
Let's see if he can do it that way. He gets the one. He gets the one. He's going for it. He's shouting.
Yeah, that was not going to work. Carrying him was not going to work. It got the crowd into it, but that was not going to work.
Just a few feet of taking it home. Right along ringside, round right, reaches out. A wobbly Tracy Smothers, tripped up by right, and he loses the.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see the sleight of hand. What was that, 31 minutes in? All right, we're going to have to go back and watch that because I didn't even see him trip Tracy Smothers.
Tracy Smothers being dragged around with a chain around his neck.
I thought he just collapsed, but that was
Yes, sir. Tracy got 3 of them. He tags that third one. What presence of mind here. The white boy is not even aware of what's going on.
Oh, it doesn't matter now.
That Tracy has touched 3 turnbuckles. 1 for him, 1 for the dirty white boy, and 1 for Tracy Smothers. Referee Mark Curtis is aware of it. Tracy being pulled backwards.
Now they both have got 3. We're going to see another strongman, I'm guessing.
For each of them. Tracy hanging on over the top.
And he got it. All right, well, that was cool. I guess that was a good finish to that. The slight mistake. But, man, I feel like this could have been paced much better.
Tracy Smothers.
I liked most of this match. I just feel like that opening could have been paced so much better. The middle and end I liked. The middle and end I really liked. But the beginning just took so long to get going. But Tracy Smothers wins the SMW Heavyweight Championship. There's got to be some afterbirth here. Yeah, we got a couple minutes left on this. Tracy tripping into the crowd, covered in blood.
Rolls back up over the white boy. Came up and tagged that 4th one.
But he's I like how much Tracy's selling that he's still hurt. He's like crawling out of Dodge. And the dirty white boy obviously upset. But I was really not that impressed with Dirty White Boy. Honestly, I was not that impressed with Dirty White Boy as much as I was Tracy Smothers. Tracy looked awesome. Oh, promo time.
Tracy, I want you to share with everybody the joy of winning that championship in one of the greatest matches I have ever seen.
That's an exaggeration, Lance.
It's the greatest moment of my life. I can't believe it. You know, I've been in sport 9 years, and this is the best thing ever happened. I've talked about climbing that mountain, you know, and I talked about changing my path, but I wasn't raised like they saw for the last year and a half. And I talked about going down that road, down the asphalt, and you went off in the mud. You don't have many riders with you. I think I got a lot of riders now. White boy, I told him, you know, I said he's going to have to kill me to beat me, and he's darn near dead. But, man, by the good grace of God and the support of the fans, just a little bit of idea. Last time the new Smoky Mountain Heavyweight Champion, I was hard to keep my composure here. And the fact that you wouldn't quit, you would not quit. God, and I've never, that's the toughest match I've ever had in my life. I've never, ever.
Oh no. Dirty White Boy just hit Tracy Smothers with plank from Ed and Eddie. Oh, kicking the balls. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Well, that was, wow, what a jerk. What a jerk is the Dirty White Boy for putting them all through that and not allowing Tracy Smothers to win. But this obviously not the final match between the two, but not the first match between the two either. So we really picked this little area, this little bubble. This match was kind of in summation of this, Tracy Smothers, I'm a fan. That was more a showcase of what Tracy Smothers could do more than it was anything what Dirty White Boy could do. That's A. B, it was just long. It was 32 minutes, and they could have handled 20. They could have handled 22 minutes and just cut down on a little bit of everything. Mostly the beginning. I think the beginning was really slow. I think it was like 13 or 14 minutes, probably 10 in ring of all Tracy Smothers. I mean, it was just Tracy. And then the second Tracy got the juice and started selling, the entire feeling of that match changed. And that is credit to Tracy Smothers for the level of selling that he was able to do. The gimmick itself is but they made the finish work. Honestly, I had fun. Rest in peace, Tracy. That was something. I wish if this was what your kind of matches were like, I would have loved to have seen you face somebody who really could have really brought out more of the best in you, rather than you having to do the opposite for Dirty White Boy. But maybe this just wasn't Dirty White Boy's best. I don't know. What I do know is that is going to wrap it up for this live stream. Stay tuned for Friday for a brand new edition of the Core Martial Podcast. As always, like, share, subscribe, and hit all 4 turnbuckle pads of that bell button. For all things Core Martial Podcast, thank you very much for watching. We will see you on Friday. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.